Good morning. On this beautiful Wednesday morning, we're going to have the exact opposite of what we had yesterday. So yesterday I worked at the office in the morning and then came home and then did some work. Today I'm going to flip that around, work from home in the morning and then head into the office in the afternoon for a bunch of on-site meetings. So the reason I stayed home from work this morning was to do a site survey. As part of buying our house, they actually agreed to do a walkthrough of our house right when we bought it, and then a year later, and we just hit the year period. And so they walked us around the house and pointed at all of the things that would need regular maintenance in the home. So things like grout, things like caulking, things like the filters underneath the microwave, the filters to the house. So a lot to be done just to make sure that our house is in good working order. But I'm kind of glad that we did this. I'm kind of glad that they have this process because it really tries to drill in this idea that if you want your house to last for a long time, you really have to invest in it, and you have to understand that houses need care and maintenance. There were a few things that we were kind of very frustrated about in terms of houses in California, where, for example, apparently stucco is not waterproof, and so only the paint on top of the stucco is waterproof. So they don't actually recommend drilling into stucco, but if you drill into it, then it is no longer waterproof, and you have to watch out for things like that. I just got to work, and even though I drove myself, I actually had to park like 3 minutes away to find an open electric charging spot. So now I'm biking into the office. This is so unusual for me. Another night where I'm not really doing much. I'm going to sleep. I had a nice dinner, and I worked a bunch today, and that was it. I feel really bad, but we're gonna try and recover. One of the things I always do before bed is I set my alarm for the next day. I just set my alarm for 5 a.m. with the hopes of getting up a little bit earlier than I normally do and finishing a demos with Angular and trying to address some of the stress that I've got head on. So that should be enough time, but we've got another alarm at 6 if that doesn't work out. I could go even earlier, but that just seems a little bit crazy. Hopefully, one of the things that happens occasionally is that I'm so well rested that I wake up early and then I can get to it. We'll see if that happens for a wonderful Thursday. I've got all these dreams, I've got all this work, but I don't know, I think maybe there's been a level of stress at work. And when you get stressed, I've seen this before, where you get to a level of stress that actually stops you from doing all of the things that you care about doing. And so I need to find a way to get past all of this stress. I think it might be coming from the baby. I'm very excited about having the baby, but I know that my life's going to change, and I know that's creating a little bit of stress, and then there's some stress at work, and there's stress at the startup. There's all sorts of stress in my life, so I need to continue to reflect and try and understand why I've got this stress. Usually when I think about stress, I look for the source and I look for the cause, and then as soon as I understand the cause, the emotional side of the stress goes away. But maybe there's so many sources of stress right now that while I'm doing that, it's not actually helping. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Good night.